Three families starting a new chapter together. These are our Papineau Homes.
Hi everyone. I think I've sorted out my technical issues that I was experiencing last week when I tried doing this live stream. It turns out my microphone was not connected properly, or it was muted or something. Now I'm getting a whole new issue though. Maybe the easy answer is just I'll take my headphones off, because I'm hearing a whole lot of noise coming in through there now. I guess as the feeds are receiving the data that I'm sending, so I'm just hearing a whole lot of echo. Anyway, how's it going? I guess I'll just start from the top, from where I had started last week. So it's been at least a year now since the last live stream update that I gave. There's been some changes. We're still in Mattawa. We've moved again. We're in our own house now with the twins, and still plugging away on the next steps of getting our house built for Project Yellow Submarine. A lot has been happening in the background. Not a lot of anything tangible that I can show you and go, right, here you go, here's what we have. It's just been a lot of paperwork and just a lot of waiting and that kind of stuff. Negotiations and conversations and things like that, particularly with the design of the house that I'm happy to say, let's just get into it then. Hang on a second. All right. We have an update on our house design. So we'd gone through a couple of different potential suppliers. There's quite a few places to choose from if you're thinking about designing your own house. Everything from like prefabricated, will deliver basically assembled at your site and just do the final hookups, and then voila, your house is done. It gets built in a controlled environment, in a warehouse, that kind of thing, and then they ship it to you when it's ready. That's cool. We kind of decided that wasn't really what we were after. So what we did was we went with a company. If you know Home Hardware, they have a program called Beaver Homes and Cottages. Very, very cool. Let me just quickly show you. So here's an example. Like, they have you can get a printed catalog if you go to their store. That is Home Hardware. Or you can go to the Beaver Homes and Cottages website here at beaverhomesandcottages.ca, and you could browse through the different models of houses that they have. But one of the questions that we asked to our local representative here in Mattawa was, could we take different parts of these models that we liked and just kind of smoosh them together? And it turns out that yes, we can. So to give you some context about the design that we went with, I start with this one, the Yellowtail 2, and these, if you go to the website, and the printed book as well has just lovely rendered images of these buildings, which is great. So what we liked about this particular model were the 2 bedrooms outside here, and then this open space in the middle. We thought that could make a really nice breezeway, a place to just sort of like to kind of enjoy being outside, but still sheltered from the rain, the snow, things like that. Like, cold isn't really an issue for too long, I guess. Like, if you bundle up, that kind of thing. It's nice to sort of sit outside in a your weather suited furniture, with a coffee or hot chocolate in the winter, or something like that. So we sort of thought, Emily and I thought, something like this for a breezeway would be really, really cool. But we wanted to do something about the main house. We weren't really satisfied with that. So for the main house, we went with something like this. This one is called the Magneta one. It's a lovely home. Some of the changes that we made here are, we aren't particularly keen on the deck space. So what we opted for instead is just bump the walls straight out so they match as more like a square like building, I guess. And we've added some windows along the top here. There's a term for it. It escapes me right now, the type of windows that they are. Yeah, and we've what else have we done? We also sort of like mirrored it, and I'll show it to you in a second what I mean by we just mirrored the whole house so it lines up better with the that breezeway and the bunk room concept as well. So not as well rendered, but this is the final design that we're going with. So you can see how we've added the windows across the top here, like I mentioned. We removed all the deck space, and where the house had sort of been set back a bit at the back split, and there was another little deck there, we just said, square it off and bring the whole thing forward. So it gave us a bit more square footage as well. So this would, with all these windows, would be the south facing view of the house, and that's really to maximize the light coming in to light up the space, but also to heat up the space as well in winter. And then just going through a rotation. Another thing we added on here was the garage. So in our case, we definitely, I think, took away some urbanist mindset, I suppose, about designing the house so that you can't see the garage. So in this design, the garage is going to be around the back of the house, and it's also going to open directly into the basement. So the intent behind that was, if we come back from town and we have a vehicle full of groceries or something like that, we don't have to bring it straight into the house and potentially let bugs in and stuff like that. We can actually pull the car up into the garage, close it up. We're in a warm space. We can unload the car into the basement, take off all of our boots, coats, and all of that stuff, and then start hauling up all of our groceries up the stairs into the kitchen. That's the thinking. So so this would be the east side of the house that we're looking at right here. And then again, rotating around, this is the north side, where we can see the closed off screen section of what will be the breezeway, and the entrance through the garage into the basement through here. And then rotating again, this will be the west side of the house, with entry, a person entry into the garage. You can see the sides, the back split rather. And then some interior views here of the house, where this will be the garage going into the basement. This will be a full height basement. This grayed out area is going to be all crawl space, so room to store stuff and things like that. We still have a lot of Toby's old things as well, that we haven't gotten rid of. We want to put it somewhere. So more crawl space is good. And so that's basically, like, as you scroll, this is great as well, I should say. So the Beaver Homes and Cottages program provide you with the stamped drawings for building the house, and some direction as well for things like installing the radon mitigation system and things like that, which I believe is now code in Ontario and has been for a few years now, which is great because I know a bunch of houses have like radon issues and things like that, and they might not even know it without like getting a radon test. And then there's also some of the costs of building the house are also covered in the process here as well, though not all of it. I think like basically utility stuff like electrical, plumbing is not covered, and the foundation is not covered as well. So for the first little bit, when we are building, digging the hole in the ground, putting in the footings, the frost wall, the the basement walls and that kind of thing. That'll all be our cost. And then once we get to the stage where we're ready to start putting up the framing, that's when those materials will be covered as part of that Beaver Homes and Cottages program. So very cool. Yeah. So that's basically that. That's the where we're at with the house design. We've actually started, I guess, this sort of dovetails or segues into the next part, is that we've actually broken ground now. So I'll show you some photos in a moment. I've actually been working this whole last week, I guess. We started last weekend. I've just been working away with a skid steer, kind of trying to plane the land a little bit, mostly knocking down trees and taking away rocks and things like that. We've actually gotten to the point as of today, which is why I have time to do this live stream. We're at the point now where I think we're going to have to rent a bulldozer or something more substantial to continue clearing things away. The problem we're having is that the ground is there's a lot of moisture in the ground, and it's making it difficult for our skid steer to actually get any purchase to like lift and pull things away and stuff. It has the capacity to lift it, but then it can't go anywhere because the wheels just start spinning. So we're going to have to get a different tool out to the site to finish this up. But we're nearly there. There's some larger trees that we're going to have to deal with as well. The skid steer's done a great job at knocking down a lot of the smaller trees. Where we're actually going to be building used to be part of what we think was like a small logging route or something like that. So the growth that's there, a lot of the growth that's there is relatively new growth, like the last 10, 15 years. And the skid steer is no problem just knocking them down, pulling them up, taking them away. But some of the growth or the trees rather that were there from before are quite a bit more mature, and the skid steer just bounces off of them when you try to like take them out. Probably like a large excavator could probably do it, but we're going to try with a bulldozer first and see. Well, no, what we're going to do is we have chainsaws now, so we're going to go out there with chainsaws, cut them down, pull them away, and then the pieces that are left over, we'll just dig them up and haul them away with the bulldozer. That's the plan. Anyway, hopefully that'll be coming up in the next week, and I'll try to remember to take footage of it. It's really, you know what? I have a lot of respect for YouTubers that are able to do this kind of work, that document building their houses, and remember to record while they're actually doing the work. It's so challenging to put all of that together. I've been taking some videos and some photos. I haven't had time yet to actually put together like an Instagram story or something with it. But anyway, whatever. That's neither here nor there. The point is that we've broken ground, and I do have some photos that I'm able to show. So this is sort of like the starting with this photo here is the northeast corner of where our garage is going to be. It's not letting me enlarge it. Whatever. Oh, it's because I'm in edit mode. Right. Cool. There we go. That's all I want to see. So this is kind of what I was saying before. You see where I mouse over here. That was actually part of an old logging route, I think. We've sort of been using it as an ATV route for the last couple of years. But like a lot of this growth around here is all sort of like kind of superficial looking, like really small trees and that kind of thing. And that's sort of what I mean is like trucks would turn around and sort of around the back over here it gets quite thin as well. But right in the middle, that dense section of green is the older growth that we're having a tougher time taking down right now. So that's what we're working towards. But yeah, this is the east side along here that we're cutting away. We've since taken away all of the debris, the rubbish, that garbage, whatever that was left behind there, and a lot of these, smaller trees have been pulled up and taken away. I marked the first corner. This was approximate. I ended up having, I kind of guessed with my phone which way west was, but it wasn't getting an accurate reading. And I actually ended up coming back when the sun was out, and I came back at solar noon and tracked where the shadow was to actually get like an accurate measure of south directly towards the equator, because we want to make sure that we're maximizing the use of the sunlight, especially since we're going to be using solar panels and relying on the sun to produce heat and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so for the first little bit, John from Project Blue Kingship was doing the first bit of operating with the skid steer. So he made the first cut into the ground. Very cool. And yeah, and then started getting to work. This was basically our fashion show for the whole the whole time we've been working back there. It's just been like you can see the like flies buzzing around me. They're just everywhere back there. But yeah, that's been the fashion that we're of clothing that we're wearing during this whole while we're doing all this work. Yeah, lots of rocks back there. Like we've dug up a bunch of them. There's still some that are coming up. I think well, I hesitate to say I think we got most of them because we keep finding more of them as we keep pushing the trees back. But like some of these rocks that the skid steer dug up were huge. This is what I mean. It's like the skid steer has the capacity to lift it, but it has to have traction to move it. And as you get further and further in, like you can see even here when we were starting to work, it was getting quite mucky. And while a lot of that has dried up, not all of it has. And some of the muck is quite thick, so that as you drive over it, the wheels just like sink right into the ground. But you can see I've been taking more and more photos since my last attempt at a live stream. So there's more to go through this time. But I think where we're at, if I just scroll down toward the end, is something like this. So this is sort of a wide angle lens. You can see where I corrected the direction of where the east edge of the house is going to be from when I was able to track the sun, which I set up the line here just sort of help guide me this way. But yeah, you can see how we've sort of made our eastern clearing here and clearing across the north, and we've started to sort of turn in this way to try to start clearing the west end of where the house is going to be. But like all of these trees here now, it's like some of these are thinner over here and they were coming down, but it doesn't take long before we're starting to cut into the more the older stuff, the more mature stuff. So we have chainsaws to help with that. But that's where we're at as of today. We've made a bit more progress, taking down a few more trees, lifting up a few more rocks, but nothing substantial today. So hopefully after this live stream, maybe later tonight, I'll pop back onto the property with a chainsaw and we'll start like lopping down some trees, and I can go back tomorrow and pull them away. So that's that update. We've broken ground, and so I guess that leaves the next question of what's next. So if all goes well, we'll have all of this cleared by the end of May, and as we get into June, certainly by mid-June at the latest, I'd like to be in a place where we can actually start digging in the hole in the ground where our foundation is going to go. But before we get that far, there's a few more things we have to take care of. Administrative stuff, getting like building insurance and stuff. Basically, once it gets to the point where people could start getting hurt, you want to have like building insurance. Well, people getting hurt or equipment getting damaged. So, but certainly people getting hurt is the bigger concern. So once you start talking about, digging sizable holes around this thing and people could fall in, kids could fall. We have kids, not like they're there, but nearby. Someone falls in, hurts themselves, that's a problem. Equipment, falls in or something, could be a problem. So, building insurance. So we have to sort out getting that ready before we start digging holes. But that's basically it. So once we get through into June, July, we should really be deep in the swing of things, getting this thing building, starting to get the footings down, start building up the walls for the what will be like the frost wall for the garage, the basement walls, all of that, and yeah, that's it. We're moving forward from there, and that's where we're at. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this update. Not as meaty maybe as I would have liked, but at least something to show you by way of progress. And yeah, stay tuned for more updates. They should start coming pretty quickly over the next couple of months. And I will try to do my part to do more recording and post more often as well. Yeah, wherever you're watching this on, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, I am multi-streaming right now. Feel free to follow the Papineau Homes profile, like, subscribe, get your notifications when new content is available, and happy to have a conversation with you as well about what we're doing, how we're doing it. So feel free to send any questions my way as well, and I will do the best I can to answer them. That's it for now. So, yeah. In the meantime, be well, everyone, and we'll get back to you as soon as we have more updates. Thanks. Bye.